Welcome to another installment of This Week in Crypto. We bounced off from a low of $3,200 for Bitcoin and we went all the way back up to 3,700. I've told you so from my last video, is that nothing to worry about. We'll hit the bottom, we'll bounce right back to the top. The news about China has passed us and we've moved on, and the market is ready to go back to where we were before, and we are going up. So far, all the news about China has created a huge amount of transactions on GDAX. This week they announced that it hit an all-time high in daily volume. Over $650 million worth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin have been traded in the past 24 hours. And the 24 hours they're talking about is these dates here. So it was a huge exchange of coins between people who sold high and people who bought in low. So I hope you listened to my advice from last video and you held your holdings. Otherwise, you are going to lose your coins to people who bought in for much less. So the government of China trying to ban Bitcoin, it's pretty much like this meme. Is that, yeah, you can hold off the entrance, but you cannot really ban a system. The blockchain system, it's a world computer. So the only way to stop the blockchain system is to ban every single computer on the internet, which is not possible. So we all laugh at Bitcoin banning in China at this news, because this is, if you truly understand how Bitcoin and blockchain works, then this is nothing to worry about. So I hope you listen to my advice and keep holding onto your coin for years to come, and the value of crypto will only increase from here on forward. So I hope you're like this guy and hold it tight. One of the big reasons for the bounce back is that Jihan Wu, who is the co-founder of Bitmain, he's saying that the Bitcoin trading is still as legal as if trading on commodity. However, order book exchanges will not be allowed without licenses. So this is pretty big. This is telling me that China will eventually regulate Bitcoin. Regulating Bitcoin and crypto exchanges is a lot better than banning it outright. So when that announcement will eventually be made from China, expect the price of cryptocurrency to go up dramatically. So nothing to worry about here. Now, one of the big controversies this week was that JP Morgan Chase's CEO, Jamie Dimon, made a huge fuss in the media about how cryptocurrency is a fraud and he wouldn't invest in it, and he will fire anybody from his company who actually traded cryptocurrency. Well, Mr. Dimon, here's an example of somebody from JP Morgan traded Bitcoin and who actually bought a lot of Bitcoins. So this is an ETN in Europe, and it tracks the price of Bitcoin. So JP Morgan bought a huge amount of Bitcoins, worth about $32 million worth of Bitcoin, right around the time that Jamie Dimon came out and said that, Bitcoin is a fraud. So I'll leave that to you to judge what this means, but it's pretty shady what's going on here. So on to the good news is that Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, went on TechCrunch Disrupt this week in San Francisco. And like the typical developer and nerd he wore this nice, amazing t-shirt with a bat hair, and he pretty much went on stage and taught people a lesson about what Ethereum is, what the future it's holding. And overall, it was a great interview, and much respect to the interviewer of TechCrunch to give Vitalik a voice in this really big, high-profile event. So one of the things that they got wrong is that one of the article titles that came out was that they're saying Ethereum will replace Visa in a couple of years, says founder. But that's not true. So Vitalik went on Twitter and says, for the record, I said Ethereum will have Visa scale capacity, not that it will replace Visa. So it was by no means to say they will replace Visa, but simply saying the scaling of Ethereum will eventually get to Visa's level. Now, what is a scaling solution? And the scaling solution that's in place for Ethereum is called Raiden. This is the plasma solution to cryptocurrencies. So if you don't know anything about this, basically right now, if you want to transact cryptocurrencies, you can only serve about a couple of transactions per second, less than 10. So this is in no way you can use this for the public if you want to use for the masses. So in order for that to happen, you need to make Ethereum scalable. That means processing thousands of transactions per second. So Raiden is a solution to that, which the developer of Raiden, Joseph Poon, and Vitalik have been working together to try to bring this to Ethereum. Now the big news came out today is that Raiden is announcing that they're doing an ICO. Which, if you know my feeling about ICO, is that once this happens, the incentive for the developers disappears. Basically, they're able to get millions of dollars into their project to fund the project. But where's the incentive? If you have millions of dollars in your bank account, you're not going to be as hardworking as somebody who needed the money to create something new. So I have mixed feelings about this. Like, one, yeah, you're gonna get nice funding to help with the development of this nice system, and two, you're gonna lose incentive for the developers. So I'm really divided right now about how I feel about this ICO. And Charlie Lee also yesterday said that he has a trusted source in China that says that there is no truth to China banning mining or network. So there was a rumor coming around this week is that China will ban mining completely or block the port for Bitcoin so nothing can be mined in China, which is pretty stupid to me. And Charlie Lee, whose brother is Bobby Lee, who's the owner of the second biggest exchange in China. So I believe that's his trusted source. So what he's saying is that that's all false, and China is not banning mining or network. So to me, that is very good news. And China, for as long as they keep on allowing mining operations, they will eventually allow the exchanges to come back, but with regulation. So this is great. And that is all for this week's news so far. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and if you want to use an app that I wrote, it's called Crypto Price Buddy, which will tell you the price of all the cryptocurrencies, and it will be updated every 10 seconds to give you the latest prices. You can have a ranking of all the cryptocurrencies and have all the news all in one place. So this is a website and you can visit it. And I'll give you the link in the description below. See you next time.